Not playing game one because of that ankle and the controversial decision to scratch him. Donovan Mitchell came back with 25 tonight in the Utah win.
I've put myself in, kind of treacherous situations to come back and be ready for, playoff intensity, and, felt better than I anticipated. And, just as a whole, I think the biggest thing as a team, we just did a lot of good things tonight. I think Mike had 15 assists tonight, 20 and 15. Rudy had 21 and 13. We did a lot of really good things. So it made my job, easier. I didn't have to come in and just do everything. I was able to just kind of find my spots and attack and just and kind of just do what I do. And my teammates made it really easy for me.
Tony Jones, The Athletic.
Donovan, can you take us through that sequence where you were talking to Dylan after that 4-point play, and just how important was it for you guys to come out and match that physicality and match that energy that Memphis frankly gave you guys in game one?
Yeah, that's the basketball I think we all love. Tony, growing up in New York, I'm playing basketball, in the city, that's every day, so, it's going to be a lot of talk and a lot of stuff. And, you just kind of go out there and just be aggressive. Just try to go out there and attack. And, he got the foul, and, it is what it is. But you got to expect the same energy when we come out in game three. You got to be ready for it. And, the biggest thing for us is just kind of, like you said, they had an intensity level in game one that we really didn't match. And I feel like we did it from start to finish, except for a little bit in the third quarter. We kind of let up a little bit. And that's going to be on us to adjust and understand that we can't let that happen. And like I said, they're going to be wired and geeked up for game three. We just got to be able, like I said, to continue to play this way, because when we play this way, outside of the few mistakes we made in the third, to kind of let them come back, we're tough to beat, and I think we showed that tonight. And guys doing many different things, and we all stepped up, but we got to continuously do it. It's just one game. We could have won by 50. We could have won by 1, but it's one game. It's a tie series. We got to go out there and take care of business.
Sarah Todd, Deseret News.
Don, early in the fourth, you took that free throw and then you checked out and went back to the locker room. It looked like you were maybe trying to work that ankle and keep it warm. Did you hit it? Did it sting it a little bit? What was going on there?
Try to keep it warm. I think that's the biggest thing. I haven't played in 5 weeks. So all my stuff that I've been doing, your ankle's warm. Every workout, there's always a time where you're warm. There's never a time where you're sitting and then come back in. So it wasn't anything bad. It wasn't anything to be weary of. I feel good. We'll see how tomorrow goes. But I think the biggest thing is just trying to make sure I'm, there for my teammates and making sure my body's right, and I think I understand I go to the back all the time. I think now just all of our games are on national TV, so they caught it. But I go to the back just to sit there and breathe sometimes. So it's not even about just the ankle. So just know that going forward.
All right, Matthew Coles, AP.
Knowing that you weren't going to play 40 minutes tonight, how difficult was it for you to just stay within yourself and not try to do too much?
I think that just goes with me just having trust in my teammates. I think the biggest thing is understanding that I'm not going to go out there and, like you said, play 40. May not go out there and have 40, but staying within myself, whether it's scoring. Tonight it was scoring. I didn't have any assists, which is killing me right now. I'm really not happy about that, but, we got the win. But just trying to find ways to impact the game. Sometimes it's just standing on the wing, finding ways to impact the game, getting a steal late, getting a charge, any way I can impact the game in my minutes. I think is the biggest thing for me. And like I said, when you have teammates like the ones I have, man, it makes it so much easier for myself to go out there and just say, all right, these guys got it. I'm not going to go out there and say, kind of overrule anything. I'm going to go with the flow and continue to put my imprint on the game and as much as I can.
Eric Walden, Salt Lake Tribune.
Donovan, Quinn said that, when a guy in your situation who hasn't played in a while comes back, there's kind of a tendency to go out there and want to put their stamp on the game from the outset. You had 12 first quarter points, but he said he felt like you were really kind of playing within yourself and letting the game come to you. How difficult was it to not try to be, overly aggressive and kind of just go all out in those early minutes?
It really started with me before the game. I'm a competitor. I know myself. There are times where I got sped up. I had a moment, where I think I ran into Royce and turned it over. But understanding that you're just talking to yourself. I've never been in this position before. So this is uncharted territory. So I had to find a way to just relax myself. It's easy to go out there and try and hit a home run to start the game, but the game's not won in the first 5 minutes. You know what I mean? That was my biggest thing. And like I said, when I have the teammates I have, I trust them, being able to get off the ball and being able to trust that they'll find me, I'll find them, and they'll make the right plays. That makes my life so much easier, and understanding that. So that was really my mindset, not coming out there trying to do too much, because you run a high off adrenaline the first quarter, and then you got none less for the rest of the game, and understanding it's a marathon, not a sprint. We're just focused on game by game and quarter by quarter and possession by possession.
Ben Anderson, KSLSports.com.
Donovan, a lot of guys, when they come back from injury, talk about the fear of kind of re-hurting the ankle or knee or whatever it is. Did you have that with your ankle today? Was there some concern about it? Just, the mental aspect?
Yeah, there's definitely that. I'm not going to sugarcoat that. There's definitely a thought. You haven't been in this position in 5 weeks. And just kind of going out there, and everything you've been doing has been controlled. It's been controlled throughout the workout. So to kind of go out there in the middle of the playoffs and then go out there and try and compete, I think there's definitely a bit of nerves. And that's probably where a lot of the nerves came from. Outside of that, it's just basketball, but understanding that jumping off the foot, the way for the first time that hard in 5 weeks, landing, cutting, like those are the things that you definitely think about. But, once you get through the first two, it's like, all right, I'm good. You trust it, and I was fine.
Sam Farnsworth, KSL TV.
Donovan, obviously, Dylan Brooks scored a lot of points 23 in 28 minutes, but part of the reason why he was limited in his minutes was foul trouble early, and you were able to draw him into some of those fouls offensively when you are attacking. How often are you looking for contact to draw that contact and maybe create some of those problems for?
It's not even just with him. I think that's just the part of my game that I've tried to elevate. Just getting to the free throw line more. The guy gave him his props. I mean, he's a hell of a defender. He's really good. So you're trying to find ways to kind of get around that. It's a game plan. People game plan for me, game plan for him. It's how it works. Game plan for Ja. There's always ways to kind of go about it. Tonight he was able to get in foul trouble early, which kind of freed things up. May not be the way the next game, but just trying to find a way to game plan. Players like him who are really good on that end. And at the end of the day, like you said, he had 23 and 28 minutes. He still went out there and hoops, but understanding that, just trying to manipulate the game in any way possible, whether it's him, it's Bane, it's Ja, it's Kyle, like whatever. That's just pretty much the mindset of the playoffs. I'm just trying to find ways to manipulate the game.
Good return for Donovan Mitchell. They get the win, and they'll do it again on Saturday night back in Memphis. Well, there'll be nuts in Memphis for Saturday night, coming back with a 1-1 split in Salt Lake City. So, Jed, as you look at this series now, Utah is a much different team with Mitchell in the lineup, with Gobert on the floor, not in foul trouble. How does Memphis turn the tables back on their home floor and attack what Utah is right now?
Yeah, Memphis definitely will have to shoot the ball much better from long range, but defensively is where they're going to have to get it done. And it's all about the pick and roll coverage. I mean, I like to keep two on the ball. The two guys in the pick and roll, handle it, stay home on the shooters, eliminate the three out of the game, because Memphis cannot make enough